Hello again, everybody. Today I have for you guys my first ever book outlet haul. I've never ordered from Book Outlet, ever. And I always see, booktubers ordering from Book Outlet all the damn time. So I figured I would see what all the fuss was about, and I knew it was discount books. And like I've talked about before, I'm a broke college student, so your girl looks for any way to save money while she feeds her really bad habit of buying too many books, regardless if they are shitty romances or other. But I figured I would let you guys see what I got. So first up is a infamous romance book, and these are all romance books. But yeah, I have After by Anna Todd. The amount of things I've heard about this book is insane. 97%, which is negative. Basically, it started out as a Wattpad fan fiction, and it was a One Direction fan fiction, basically. And then it got turned into a real book, and it has 3 sequels. Holy fuck. And it's good. And also, it sold its rights to be made into a movie. It has an IMDb page. Granted, there's nothing on it yet, but this woman wrote a One Direction fan fiction and is getting a movie. It's like 50 Shades of Grey all over again, but like, probably worse. Also, look how fucking long this is. I looked it up. It is 580 pages. And all of the books are like this. There are thousands of pages of One Direction fan fiction, potentially, in this series. But I've just heard awful things. I have heard I heard basically it sounds like a 7th grader wrote it, and it's pretending to be an adult, but it's actually a 7th grader. I have just heard that the character that's supposed to be Harry, whose name is Hardin, is horribly abusive emotionally and all that. And these characters are very flat and unlikable. I have not heard the best things about it. So of course I had to buy it. I really, really had to buy it because of how bad it was. But I'm kind of like, I'm dreading this because of how bad it is, but I'm also really excited. And if I can bear it, I will buy the other 3 and read them too. So I'm excited to finally read this piece of shit. I'm super stoked, and whenever the movie comes out, then your girl can roast that too. Next up is basically kind of a more, I guess, classical set. Not classical set of romances, but like none of them are fan fictions to my knowledge. But I have a book by Carolyn Sparks, The Vampire with the Dragon Tattoo. Also, I would like to point out the quality of like how good these books look, even though they're supposed to be used. The only one that looks bad is, or not even that bad, is After, and it's got this little line, and that's because I bought it in the dent and scratch section, so it was even cheaper. But all of these look pristine, so that's a plus about Book Outlet in general. These books are pristine. You'd never know you bought them dirt cheap. But basically, we talked about this author in my last used bookstore haul, because she wrote The Sexiest Vampire Alive, and now she has this. Basically, this is kind of a, I don't know what it is. But it's basically Dougal Kincaid has something to prove. After being injured in a battle with the malcontents, he's ready for active duty protecting unsuspecting mortals from these villainous vampires who want to rule the world. But first he has to get control of himself, because just the sight of a certain lovely doctor has his injured hand doing some peculiar things, not to mention the sizzling sensation that burns along with his dragon tattoo. Vampires? Vampires? As a scientist, Leah is having trouble believing that these immortal creatures exist, but there they are, standing in front of her, asking for help in solving a genetic puzzle that can save mankind. There's even one in a sexy kilt. Just one look into Dougal's gorgeous green eyes sets her pulse racing, but can she trust him? And the overwhelming desire that refuses to be ignored? So basically, Scottish vampire. Potentially. I ordered these a couple weeks ago, or not even, I ordered this like about a week ago, but, so I've kind of forgotten what I ordered, to be honest. So this is a surprise, but Scottish vampire who's in love with a doctor. Should be fun. Also I have another one by her about a sexy vampire agent. This woman seems to be wild with her vampire plot lines. Next one, Rogue with a Brogue, because I like rhymes and puns. Basically, ultimately, because I was having my friend look at this at work today, She was like looking at all my books, and she was like, this is basically Scottish Romeo and Juliet. And it is. Basically stuck in a Mayfair ballroom thanks to his love-struck brother, Aaron McLowry, wants nothing but a bit of distraction from an arranged betrothal. And a clever auburn-haired lass in a vixen's mask promises just that, until he discovers that she's the granddaughter of the Campbell, chief of Clan McLowry's longtime rival. Despite their family's grudging truce, falling for fiery Mary Campbell is a notion too outlandish for even this Highlander. Raised on tales of savage McRowleys, Mary is stunned to realize the impressively strapping man in the fox's mask is one of them. Surely the enemy shouldn't have such a broad chest and such a seductive brogue. Not that her curiosity matters, any dalliance between them is strictly forbidden. And she's promised to another, but with the crackling spark between them ready to catch flame, love is worth every risk. It's literally Romeo and Juliet, but Scottish. Romeo and Juliet, even though I love William Shakespeare, is already a trash romance. It's not even a romance. So we have another trash on top of it. So very excited. I mean, granted, Highlander so far, in my experience with Highlander romances, they're actually very good. Maybe this will change my mind. Next up, we have another Christina Dodd, which I talked about in my used book store haul before. And as we all know, that was basically swapping of kind of the roles of usually a princess gets captured, but the princess captured a man. This is A Night to Remember, because, you know, she's going to have a night to remember with a hot knight. Also, my friend says this cover looks like bad porno, and I kind of agree. It kind of does. But basically, this is a young woman, I'm just kind of going to summarize at this point, a young woman who is in an abbey for scandal, so she's healing injured soldiers, kind of trying to, you know, penitence, I guess. And then this man that she's been obsessed with, because he's beautiful since she was young, shows back up, and obviously temptation ensues. You know, in an abbey where Jesus is. Extra sinful and sexy. But yes, we have this with basically a weird porn cover. So there's that. Again, with weird porn covers. I like to point out, when I ordered these off of Book Outlet, they had different pictures, because this had a slightly different image. And this one had a very different image. Taming the Wolf by Lois, I guess it's Grierman. I can't tell with that fancy print. It's like shiny, holographic, very shirtless man. I was under the impression I was getting like this cover, because this is what showed her, something like this. This is what I was under the impression that I was getting. Not this on my front. So this is like, no way in hell am I reading this in public. Embarrassing. Basically, from what I can see, because I don't remember, because I'm terrible, to the ladies, he's the Taun of the he's the Irish wolf, an unobtainable object of their most hidden desires. But centuries ago, O'Banion fell victim to an enchanting witch, one ruthless in battle and in the bedchamber. He is now cursed, and the wolf is set free. Antoinette des Bonnet knows there is much to fear from this dashing, magnificent stranger who stirs heated longings deep within her, but in turn, O'Banion's aroused senses warn him to beware this alluring young countess in shimmering white, for he knows he can never conquer her, yet cannot resist her. Something mysterious and powerful in her is calling him, and he must have this bewitching beauty, even if it cost him his twice damned soul. So this is basically man bangs a witch hundreds of years ago, gets turned into a werewolf, now has to control werewolf urges to be with this beautiful lady. Yay. You know, and she's wearing white, so she's, you know, probably a good virgin, as one is in these romances. But yeah, just, I can't get over this cover. It's so weird. Like, this one's weird too, but this one's, like, weird. That's the only bad thing about these books. Next, we have The Last True Vampire. Dun dun dun. This is basically, it makes me think of, the reason why I like it, or I decided to, it makes me think of that show Lucifer, also because I think the guy kind of looks like the dude that plays Lucifer on Lucifer. But it's basically, he's in LA, he's in the nightclubs, you know, he meets a sweet young woman, blah, 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 the usual vampire bullshit. Fun shit. Classic vampire bullshit. Always a fan. After that, we have Wolf Untamed. This is basically about feral warriors, so, you know, he's a shapeshifter, because of course he freaking is. Also, apparently he, like, this woman stole his heart, his name's Natalie, and then he took her memories and sent her back to her fiance. And now he's, like, you know, She's trying to remember things and all that good shit. So this will be weird, and you know she's gonna get angry because she's gonna find out his memory, you know, he stole her memories and blah 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 blah, betrayal. Second to last book is my Ruthless Prince. This is the usual, you know, kind of Regency type thing. This is basically the dude is a member of the Inferno Club, and if you know about that historically, basically a bunch of sin and debauchery happened in the, like, Inferno Club. So that's what this is, and ultimately he's probably just, he's the most notorious of them, but obviously he's gonna get reformed when he meets this nice lady, because that's how this works. But this should be interesting. I'm interested in seeing their talk about the Inferno Club, because I've read books before that aren't romances that reference it, so I'll be interested to see what they kind of do with that. And the last book we have is A Tale of Two Vikings, obviously playing off of A Tale of Two Cities. But, you know, this woman, you know, falls in love with two Vikings and vice versa. So, I don't know if, like, because they are twins, they're identical twins. And I'm like, you know, she gonna pick one or the other? Or, you know, are they gonna do a consensual polyamorous relationship? And I guess potentially threesome sex. But yeah, so that is my haul. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I enjoyed it, seeing everything I got from Book Outlet, and I'm pleased with, you know, how everything looks. But if you did enjoy this, please hit subscribe and like it. That would be wonderful. Let me know down below if you have any book suggestions for me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.